Brady Kurtz, captain of the operation, has joined us now, and he's joining us from Poland as it is with Jet Set International Speedway Lifestyle. Congratulations, Brady! You're a title-winning captain for the Bellevue Aces. You're going to go down in history.
Yeah, that's definitely something pretty cool to hear. I think it was definitely well earned by the club. We had such a great team and a great manager in Lemo, and I'm glad we actually managed to pull it off in the end. And I'm sure it's in the books now, so we'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, defo. Now you were involved in one of those incidents as well that certainly Simon Stead wasn't particularly happy about. Heat 11. Tobias Musielak got excluded, of course, but you were involved in that heat. What did you think about that?
I think when it comes down to the final, there's always a whole lot of if, muts, and maybes, and you can go through every heat and say this could have happened and that could have happened, but at the end of the day, it finished how it did, and that's all it wrote, really. I think the whole final was tough racing. There was a lot of exclusions, a lot of crashes, and I think everyone was 100% committed to their team and to try and win the final, and that's what there's going to be crashes and incidents, and everyone just had to deal how their cards were dealt, and
Tell us about the fans, Brady, because they were out in force at Sheffield, well, and at Bellevue, of course, but at Sheffield, making a noise. I don't think the sort of noise that we don't often hear at a Speedway stadium, chanting like it was a football match. And I know you're used to this in Poland quite a bit, but great to hear at a British Speedway stadium. I think we could do with more of that, but they were there saying that they were the eighth man. You asked for that, and they delivered, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen anything like that in England, that's for sure. The Bellevue fans were incredible. I definitely didn't expect that kind of turnout, and even before the meeting started, all you could hear was the Bellevue fans chanting, and I think that just showed how much this final meant to them, and they really wanted it just as much as us riders and the whole club did. So it's pretty cool that they did turn out in such force, and we managed to hold the trophy high for them. So I think it was just a good night for Speedway and for Bellevue, and hopefully it's looking good for the future.
There's one guy who isn't with us at this moment, but was a key driving force and pretty much unbeaten throughout a grand final, which I don't think's been done very regularly. In Robert Lambert, a lot's been made of the signing, of course, but what a signing to have in your team. I don't think any supporter would say no to having him in their team, shall we say. But he delivered the goods, didn't he? And Brady, first, obviously you've been riding with him, and obviously you've spent plenty of time with him on the international circuit, I suppose, as well in Poland, either racing with him or against him. But what a rider to have in at number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Robert have done a lot of racing together over the years. We done under 21 together and come through all the way in Premier League and now in this league. And it was really disappointing to lose Max. I think everyone seems to forget that he is also a Grand Prix rider and a very good British League rider, and who is one of the best to go around our track for sure. And it's a shame he wasn't there to hold the trophy up with me, but if not him, then there was definitely no better person than Robert. And he absolutely done his job, and we can't thank him enough for what he did, and he was definitely played a massive part in it, and a rider of his caliber, he definitely didn't disappoint.
And it was nice to recognise all those other riders and have them on the podium there on Thursday as much as possible, with Charles Wright and Jai Etheridge, all the riders, and Connor Bailey as well, the number 8. So it was great that everybody was all part of that team and got to be involved in the celebrations where they could.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no one rider in that team, that's for sure. Everyone done their job, and they all played a part throughout the season, and without any of them, we probably wouldn't have been able to do the whole job. So it's definitely, like I said, the same about Max. It was a shame for Charles and Jai to not get their start in the final, but they were also massive parts of the entire season and getting us to the final, and they were there on the night and supported us as much as they could and helped out where they could. So that just shows, I think, what a good solid team we did have for the entire season.
Now, all three of you, I suppose you can have your say on this. The Premiership pairs competition has still not finished, and it's coming back with one final last week flurry before the end of the season. And there's 2 rounds due to take place, and that'll be Tuesday and Thursday next week, with the final round, of course, at the National Speedway Stadium, which also really will be a homecoming, because you've not been able to ride since winning this title, and your chance to show off that magnificent trophy to your home fans.
It's me going again.
Yeah.
I think that's it's actually kind of cool that we do get to go and ride at Bellevue again. It's a bit of a shame that you win the league and it's not actually at your track with your fans, and it'll definitely be nice to go back to the National Speedway Stadium. Hopefully the fans turn out in force again, and we can have our little homecoming of glory, and if you might, and hopefully we might even finish it off with a win in the pairs as well.
It's still possible to win it. You can still win this title, and I think a lot of fans are writing this off. But you have two barnstormers, and we don't know what sort of lineups the other teams are going to put out. But you're still there, and thereabouts with a couple of decent performances. So it's there to be taken, isn't it? Lemo, talk to us about the pairs. Have you made any decisions yet on who will be representing the Aces in that?
No, I haven't. Obviously, Brady will definitely be there, and Tom. So just working on the next member of the team. So obviously, I've only just got confirmation through of the Tuesday date just now. So I'll go back to the drawing board and speak to the boys, work out that final member. But we've obviously got an uphill battle, but the boys are capable of it. And obviously, to finish off big at home would be fantastic. But like you said, to have the homecoming to showcase this trophy here. In front of our home fans, because obviously we didn't get to do that on Thursday, would just be the icing on the cake, and obviously you go into sometimes you go into the season and you don't get that opportunity. So hopefully they'll all come down and support us and cheer on the boys, and we'll have the whole team there and to celebrate. So it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, it should be a great evening, and certainly if you can get those fans back in good voice for one final hurrah, and as well, with the pairs. A great chance to see some of the best riders from across the league one final time to round off the season. A nice way to end the season.
Yeah, I think the pairs competition has probably gone a little bit under the radar, really. It's like the racing has just been out of this world. It's covered on BSN, so it's live stream, so it can be seen anywhere. But the racing has been really good, and obviously some of the winners, Ipswich is the only team that's actually won their home round, so hopefully we can emulate that. But it's just been a great concept, and I'm surprised it hasn't been supported, a lot more. But obviously it's in its first year of starting this competition, and hopefully we can expand on it next year.
And in a twist, Sheffield won't be hosting their home round; it'll be at Leicester. Obviously, same promotion, but Leicester will be a place Premiership riders will be visiting next season, of course. So it's maybe a bit of an appetite whetter for the Leicester faithful and for the riders to have a go around the Leicester track if you've not been there any time recently. So bit of an unknown quantity perhaps for some of the riders who've not had the chance to ride down there. Tom, of course, will have been there this season. Brady, have you been around Leicester any time recently?
Not recently, but a lot of times previously. I raced for Poole for however many years when Leicester were in the league, and I actually quite like the Leicester track, so I'm looking forward to it coming back. And I think the pairs round will be good there.
Yeah, and so that's going to be on the Tuesday, and then back at Bellevue on the Thursday, and then that'll be the season complete. Will it be for all of you? Have you got any other meetings there, Brady or Tom, beyond that?
No, that'll be all done and dusted for me. So looking to go out with a win.
Yeah, and what about you? Are you going back to Australia, Brady?
I will be. Yeah, I'm not exactly too sure when. I'm not in too much of a hurry to run off, but it won't be too long in the near future, I think.
Yeah, I know some of the Aussies are like literally after their last meeting, they're on the plane the next day.
Oh, they're out.
Sedgey's doing that, isn't he? Justin Sedgman's doing his last meeting and he's off.
Yeah.
Like.
I think I'll try and sort out as much as I can for next year, so then I don't have to come back too early.
Yeah, I think a lot of
the
Australians, come October, have pretty much got one foot on the plane anyway. When it starts getting dark and cold, they're halfway there. So.
To be honest, I think would rather be with you, but just we haven't got the visa. What about you, Tom? What's your winter plans? How do you keep yourself busy when the season's done?
Well, to be honest, normally it's trying to find the trying to find like the best job I can. I mean, trying to keep myself busy, obviously during the winter, and whatever sort of comes about, I try and take. But maybe this year might be a little bit different. I mean, obviously you have to try and get trying to get kind of Poland sorted as well, which would be kind of fun because we were kind of like my first year, kind of properly doing that, hopefully, and having to get the bikes ready and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. But no, I mean, other than that, we're going to Barbados on the 10th of November. So we only got a few weeks till then. So we're looking forward to doing that. That'll be fun. Other than that, mate, trying to.
Where are we staying?
What's that? Yeah,
where are we staying?
Yeah, Lemo's actually taking us all to Barbados.
We're all invited, aren't we?
Yeah, but no, other than that, I mean, and then it'll be before we know it. As soon as Christmas is over, we then obviously start training and obviously start practicing again. So, yeah,
building bikes back up.
Yeah.
And with Poland, are you looking at like what the top league or the first division, or you're not sure?
I was with Ravitch last season, which was my first kind of like, I was sort of off and on there, which was a great learning experience for me. And obviously Poland, I mean Brady will say as well, it's completely different to kind of how it's sort of ran here. I believe anyway. It's like it almost seems like a complete different sport. It's kind of a little bit strange there. So it's kind of definitely to try and get as much meetings as I can there will be great. And next season it's looking like hopefully like a League One club, but we'll have to kind of see and obviously wait until all the kind of funny stuff is all sorted out. But hopefully, I mean, like I obviously just want to try and be there as much as I can and trying to get as much racing as I can abroad. So it kind of pushed me on a little bit more as well.
And have you got any idea of your destinations yet, Brady, or are you still working on it?
We'll have to see when the transfer window opens.
Says with a glint in his eye. And what about you, Mark? I mean, sometimes the problem with having a successful team can also then make things more difficult the following year, and we've seen that with Peterborough, and they had a title-winning team, and it was not so easy for them to follow that up, particularly at the hands of Bellevue at the start of the season, where they had a baptism of fire. Let's not be let's be honest, but. Are you looking to retain as much of the current form of the team as possible? And obviously there's AGMs and there's points limits and things to take into account, but are you hopeful you can retain the majority of your team?
Well, I think, when you have a successful team, the last thing you want to do is break it up. So, yes, quite rightly, I'd like to keep the majority of the boys, but, we're waiting to hear what we have to build our teams to and get on with building that. It's never a nice time this time of the season for a promoter, team manager, or a rider for that fact, because you just want a contract, sign it in place so you can sort of get on with your winter. It's just an awkward period. But as a manager, I've never rushed building a team, and I don't sort of plan to change that sort of ethos. But I'd like to think with the culture that we've got at Bellevue, that a lot of the riders will want to come back, and maybe some obviously want to join us, but. It puts us in a good position. But I think the challenge is obviously focus on 2023 to retain the title and go back to back. Not going to be easy, but I think the last half a dozen years we've been there or thereabouts. So I can't see any reason why that won't be any different. But it brings new challenges. But obviously operating out of the National Speedway Stadium has its other challenges. To make it viable and sustainable, and put a strategic plan in place, that the city council are happy with. But we have lots of challenges, but the work just continues, and it just doesn't stop here, and we can't sort of rest on our laurels. We've just got to keep grinding away.
And it has been reported in the Speedway Star discussion with Discovery about a potential additional Grand Prix in Great Britain, and maybe conversations were at an early stage with Bellevue being that. And I think they looked at Bradford at one point, and now Bellevue the preferred. There's one or two obstacles to overcome in order to achieve that. But is that something else that you'd be working towards what's the timescale for that? Is that something in the next couple of years, or more imminently, or further down the line?
Oh, we'd be delighted to host a Grand Prix. We've made that very clear. Obviously the BSPA board members went to Bradford, and that sort of pretty much fell in a heap. It's sort of a bit annoying, really, when you think we've got such a good stadium here that they go to a club that's not even running. We probably need a long-term agreement with Discovery Sports to make that possible. So that's really over to the directors to see if they can come up with something like a decent plan. Grand Prix Manchester, that would be an absolute feather in our cap. We've hosted big FIM meetings with the Speedway of Nations, and I see no reason why we can't host a Grand Prix Manchester. So there's just a lot of work to go on behind the backgrounds to make it sort of viable, really, because Discovery Sports, I don't think their packages are quite cheap, and we can't go in there blinkers, but we'll see.
Yeah, good stuff. Could be exciting times. Well, look, thanks a lot for joining us, all of you. It's been great speaking with you and catching up with you and reflecting on a title, the first in 29 years, and now it's a case of making it maybe not quite so long between doing it again, you'd hope.
Nice.
Next year.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Back to back, it's coming.
That's the plan.